So keyboard and mouse is by far the hardest input to learn, and your settings have a huge impact on your Season 6 gameplay. Bunch of Crunch Tommy, where you at? Listen, there's no I in team. In order to be successful as a team, you have to play for one another. And speaking of being a team player, I talked with some of our PC players here at Pro Guys, and they tell me about the best keyboard and mouse settings and sensitivity that you can use to really dominate the new season and be ahead of the meta. Are you guys ready for this? I know I am. Let's get this going. All right, guys, so if you implement these new keyboard settings, but you're still losing your games, head on over to ProGuides.com. Okay, so we've got a ton of courses and an innovative VOD review system that will help you guys improve at Fortnite fast. Okay, so after playing a couple of games of Fortnite Season 6, okay, it's pretty obvious that the meta has changed a lot. Just like every season in this chapter, the pump is back once again. So this season, the pump's headshot damage has been nerfed, but it still rewards skill for aimers. And so now that the pump does more body damage and the purple pump can't, one-shot a player, you must hit all your shots. And having a low to medium sensitivity is just very important for playing to your best potential. High sensitivities may have their pros and cons, but having the ability to adjust just really leads to success. So in Chapter 2, Season 6, having low to medium sensitivities are definitely the most optimal for competitive gameplay. And so to avoid confusion, all of these sensitivities will be corresponding with 800 DPI, which is your mouse's raw sensitivity outside of Fortnite. And so keeping your X and Y sensitivity at a low to medium range is the best choice. And it is the reason why most pros really do the same. And so a perfect sensitivity that many pros use is 8.0% on both their X and Y axis. And this is considered the perfect sensitivity because it is right between the low and medium range and really allows pros like Booga and Benji Fishy to have the perfect mix of, fast mechanics and really accurate aim. But you know what? Like many top tier professional players have started to use higher sensitivities just because of the advantages it really brings. Like players like Norway Lee, Vidil, and Nosh play on 10%, which allows them to have extremely fast movement. And so high sensitivity is definitely the way for players, with amazing mouse control, really to make sure to practice before you choose this route. Scope and, targeting sensitivity varies with many pros and preferences, but keeping it around 30 to 40% is the most optimal way to really track your opponents perfectly. And so with this sensitivity, you can easily laser players out of the sky, or if they're just moving quickly. And this allows you to have better shotgun aim when aiming down sights, and overall allows you to hit for more damage. Just like your X and Y sensitivities, keeping both numbers at the same percentage is just better than, having separate sensitivities. But also, it can be a preference between, your playstyle and your capability, really. So another small part in the sensitivity section that has absolutely no role in your gameplay is the ignore gamepad input and lock input as mouse setting. Just keep those both on. Just in case you have a controller connected simultaneously, keep your aircraft sensitivity at 100%. Just in case planes are added back to competitive modes, and really keep your invert controls off. So to narrow down on the perfect sensitivity, copying another pro sensitivity, it's very useful. We've said this so many times. Pros are always looking to play at their best, and their settings are really tailored to help them do so. Changing it to your preference is the key to really improving and playing at your best. But you know what? Don't feel that you need to just clone someone else. Everybody is different. Everyone has different strengths. Everyone has different weaknesses. So make sure, guys, to use all of our tips and recommendations to really help you find your perfect sensitivity. You can do it. All right, bunch of crunch time. It's time for the question of the day. Are you enjoying Fortnite's Primal Season 6? Be honest. Come on, let me know. The new season has been out for a little while now. So, do you think it's better than the seasons that have come before? Let us know in the comments. I'm really interested to see what you guys are going to say. So, having the perfect keybinds is extremely confusing to players when they first start playing on keyboard and mouse. And, a huge mistake, guys, that I see a lot of players make is using keybinds that are close to each other rather than keybinds that are just fully optimized. And so, when having keybinds that are very close to each other, it's, most likely that you're going to have to use this same finger to press all of them. This may seem easy, but it definitely is going to limit the way you edit when you do that and your movement while building. And so to have the perfect keybinds, use keybinds that allow you to move around and build at the same time. And this allows your mechanical skill to be at its fullest and make sure that you will never have to lose momentum when engaging in a build heavy fight, right? And so as of now, guys, the best way to have optimal keybinds is by putting your wall and ramp on your side mouse buttons. And this is going to allow you to have more space in your keyboard and really help your fingers just move across your keyboard smoothly. And so the reasons most pros put their wall and ramp on their mouse button is because this allows you to move around, jump, crouch, and pull out your pickaxe while building. And so depending on your edit bind, put your floor to C or F, and then your cone to left shift. And so along with this, changing your edit bind to E or F is definitely the best move, all right? As they're just really easily reachable. And so put your trap bind to T, as it's really the closest bind right next to your reload. And so along with this, change your ping bind to X, as you still have an extra bind left to use. And so after just playing a couple hours in these binds, you're gonna notice a huge difference in how easily you can just build and strafe and edit at the same time. Your weapon key binds don't really affect you too much, but always try to switch off the number keys. And so after copying down these binds, you have many key binds that you can still use like normal. Keeping your pickaxe bound at 1 is fine, and you can just choose to use 2, 3, 4, and 5 for your next slots. I will say this though, you still have a lot of extra key binds, so put your last slot at V and your fourth slot at G, and this allows you to press every bind efficiently and really helps you arrange your weapons in any way of importance that you really want. And just remember guys, further along in the video, we will be showing you guys some bind tips that remove your scroll wheel completely. So just make sure that you are used to really pressing weapon binds instead of just scrolling. And so weapon binds don't really affect you too much, and you can just definitely adjust each one to your preference as long as you don't just really need to scroll. Okay, so there are many extra key binds and settings that you need to use for both competitive and creative gameplay. First up is the best advantage that you can have over a controller player. All right, so scroll wheel reset. Scroll wheel reset is the fastest way to really reset your builds, and it really allows you to reset multiple builds by just scrolling down. So to use scroll wheel reset, use your secondary keybind for your building edit and change it to scroll wheel down or up. For now, we do recommend just scroll wheel down, and after, just change your secondary bind for reset building edit to scroll wheel down as well, and really that's it. And so for more in-depth video on using scroll wheel down, check this video out. So in our main keybind section, you may be wondering what bind to change your use keybind to, after using E as your edit bind. But really don't fear guys, we have the perfect solution for you. Okay, scroll wheel pickup is a huge advantage that almost every pro uses, especially after Stark Industries was in the game. This allows you to pick up every item in a split second just by scrolling repetitively. And so to use scroll wheel pickup as your bind, just change your secondary bind for use to scroll wheel up. And so after doing this, just remember guys, just keep strolling up when 50-50ing a chest or just battling your teammates and just stealing the loot. That's a joke. As we move backwards to our settings tab, there are many settings that you need to really enable, okay? Turn on sprint by default, as it allows you to sprint at all times and allows your hand to move freely. Also, turn on auto open doors. This setting allows you to walk through doors without actually having to use any bind. Saves you a lot of time, yes. All right, further on, turn on sort consumables to the right, and just, make sure that you are all used to, putting all your consumables on the right side of your inventory slots. Because as soon as you pick up a consumable, because they automatically get sorted to the rightmost side, which really saves you a lot of time. And so another setting that you should try to use is confirm edit on release. This setting is fully a preference and really can just mess with your crosshair placement if used incorrectly. And so edit on release really saves you time, but also can be tricky to fully learn first. Lastly, make sure that you disable pre-edits, as this can really mess you up a lot of times while fighting. All right, bunch of crunch army. Remember to copy down these settings and practice with them. And guys, I always say this, never get demotivated. And just remember, after mastering these settings, you're gonna be at the top of the Season 6 leaderboards if you believe in yourself and you never give up. And if you want extra motivation, connect with me on my Instagram at Your Motivation Guy. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and keep grinding. Never quit, and we'll see you soon.